So, I just finished the Ahsoka episode 5. About an hour and a half ago. I am re-recording this video because I think 28 minutes of me babbling on is just too damn long. So, I'll just say everything straightforward. And overall, the episode was pretty decent. Half of it I don't care about. Half of it is pretty cool, but not that cool. And I'll break it down why I think so. So basically, I'd probably rate this episode like maybe a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah. Basically, I don't think the show's ever gonna hook me. I love the character Ahsoka, and there's some cool things in this episode. Of course, last episode we saw Anakin, so we're gonna have some like other stuff going on with him. But just because you plop Anakin into the story doesn't mean I'm gonna think it's cool. I'm not one of those people. I'm not gonna eat up anything you give me. Like, if it's just mediocre writing, then it is what it is. But in my opinion, this is not Dave Filoni's best work. I think we deserve better. We've been getting garbage. Mando season 3. I think Andor is so uninteresting, I don't care. Kenobi sucked. Rebels, I don't care to watch. Supposedly it gets better. I mean, the thing with Rebels, though, is I would rather watch that than those other shows I mentioned. And I might even be forgetting a show. They're either so forgettable or they just suck. Tales of the Jedi was alright. There was a couple episodes, or maybe just the one Baby Ahsoka episode I didn't care about. It's like, dude, I don't give a shit about Baby Ahsoka. Come on now. But overall, pretty good, decent show. But like, it's someday I'll sit down and just casually watch Rebels maybe. But like, we've been getting garbage for years, especially the sequels. I mean, as someone who likes The Force Awakens, I think it's an alright Star Wars movie. But anything after that, I can't say anything about Rise of Skywalker. I have not seen it because The Last Jedi is just so fucking bad. I can't. It can't get worse than that. But somehow, apparently, it does. But I have no say on that because I have not experienced it. So, anyways, I think the writing in the series so far is just basic stuff. Like, I'm going to give you an example of something in the spoiler section of this video that is also basic writing, but it would be better. So, with that being said, this episode's fine. Probably the best yet. I'm sure they're going to say that because realistically, we haven't gotten anything great. The last episode, the couple of the fights, pretty good. I still don't think we have any cool lightsaber choreography fights. They're just kind of basic fights, and even in this episode, a couple basics, like just stuff that's not like that cool. Like, yeah, it might be fun to watch, but if you really think about it, it's like, it's not that cool. I still think the last cool lightsaber fight I saw was Darth Maul versus Ahsoka in the last season of the Clone Wars. I think that's the last cool lightsaber fight I've watched, personally. I mean, unless I'm forgetting something else. But that being said, I think it's time to move on into spoilers. So if you haven't watched it yet, or if you just happen to click on this video of all videos, now's the time to click off if you don't want to be spoiled. But if you have watched it and you want to continue, we're moving on. Anakin, he's still here. And one thing I'll just get out of the way is, I know Star Wars is not realistic, but like, Ahsoka got knocked off the ledge. She's been in the water this whole time. Of course, they just somehow find her. People can be like, oh, well, the kid, Jason, he's Kanan's son, or whatever the guy's name was, I forget. He has sense, he can sense. It's like, dude, bullshit. That's just coping. But she just kind of wakes up. She doesn't even like, no CPR, no nothing, no like frantic, like, oh my god, this person's been in the water for who knows how long. A little bit of a nitpick there, but still, that was the first thing I saw. Like, Ahsoka was in the water, practically drowned. Whatever. Anyways, let's rewind a bit. Anakin, he's there to supposedly complete her training or whatever. It's nice. I'm not someone... I love Hayden Christensen. Who doesn't? He got a lot of shit back in the day, undeserved, because the writing wasn't the best. But that being said, I love the guy, but I don't think there's just enough of him here to really make me care. There's some cool parts where we get flashbacks where Ahsoka is played by a younger actress, and that's pretty neat. We get to see young Snips with Anakin in his Clone Wars outfit. We get some clones even. When I seen the first clone that comes running, I'm just like, no way they're doing it. No way they're doing it. Yeah, I mean, it looked pretty good. And then clone troopers are just kind of like running into the gunfire. You don't see who's shooting them. I mean, it's the droids, but they don't show any droids. Probably couldn't afford it because the clone trooper outfits didn't look the best. But just a nitpick. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, they look bad, because honestly, I don't care that much. It's live action, but it was so cool. And then one of my least favorite things. So my favorite character of all time, of Star Wars, is in this episode, Captain Rex. He is not. They don't focus on him or anything. He's not a big part of the series at all. I understand, but the way they reveal him is so. It's such horseshit. It's just like, you just look. You're just looking at the screen. You look to the left. There he is in the background. And they kind of made it obvious he's right there. But then, this is a beloved character. Dave Filoni, of all people, knows this. Jon Favreau, all these Disney people, they have to know how much people love this character. I mean, for Christ's sake, it's Captain Rex. He doesn't, walk up to the screen. It's more of just yep, there he is. He's over there. Do you see him? Yeah, okay. It's come on. So what's going on is they're in some battle that they're in. I couldn't quite tell. I mean, kind of gave me Attack the Clone vibes from Geonosis, where they're in all that gunfire and mist from Geonosis and shit. But minus the droids, we don't get any droids, nothing. Just clone troopers, not even shooting, just running. So not even as good as the Geonosis fight from Attack of the Clones. The Clone Wars Geonosis fight, oh my god. What an arc. But I stand by Clone Wars being the best thing we've ever gotten out of Star Wars. But anyways, so here's something I want to say with Captain Rex. Yes, they don't focus on him one bit. He's not the main character. He's not even a background character of the series. He's just there in this flashback as a first time seeing him in live action. I understand, but here's the deal. Here's what I would have done differently. So they're doing this whole thing where they're just kind of running, okay? Nothing crazy at all. They're just running in smoke and shit. So, say suddenly, just have Ahsoka deflecting some blasts. You don't even have to show the droids, but show an explosion go off, right? And all of a sudden, a blast goes off. Knocks her back a ways, she's kind of dusty. She's on her knees, kind of struggling to get up, she just got hit by some explosion, but nothing fatal, of course. Just, she got something flying back. And so she's coughing. A hand reaches down, she grabs the hand, looks up, and there's Captain Rex looking down at her. You got the ambience of the mist, the smoke, the gunfire, everything, the dust. Kind of give a little hazy first person view. And he says, I got you, kid. Or I don't know, just anything. Make him say, Tamora Morrison, just make him say anything. God damn it. That's my favorite character. And it's a cool nod that he's just right over there. But I think it's such a disservice of being oh, there he is. They're just jangling keys in front of us. Hey, you like what you see? There's your favorite character. There's one of your favorite characters. Okay, he's gone. All right. They don't have to make him a huge part of the flashback. But that would have been... You cannot tell me that would not have been way cooler than just him being in the background. And then he does say, we got it, Commander. We'll take it from here. And then, he turns around and he goes off. So we get to see, Phase 1 and Phase 2. I think that's right. Is it Phase 1, Phase 2, Captain Rex? But either way, it was awesome seeing Captain Rex, my favorite character in all of Star Wars, in live action for the first time. But just the way they showed him was just like, really? Like, I know this might seem like such a crazy nitpick, but I think this is totally, like, I think this is, I wouldn't even call it a nitpick, personally. I think this is totally, what the hell am I trying to say here? Justifiable. Like, they could have just not had him at all, you know? If they're gonna not show him in any cool way, just don't even put him in there. But, anyways, so there's my one change. A very basic writing change they could have done, and yet so much cooler than what they did. But, back on track with the whole flashbacks, you know. I love the whole Anakin saying, you know, fight or die. You know, it's just so simple. It's just so nice. So, every single part with Anakin and young Snips, young Ahsoka, I think was good. I don't think it was great, because it wasn't, like, wrote or filmed in any particular way that was awesome to see. It was cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't think... Like, motherfuckers went to a theater to see this? First off, the episode's 44 minutes long. It says 51 minutes, but 2 minutes of beginning credits and last time on last week's episode and whatever the hell, and then 5 minutes at the end credits. That takes 51 minutes down to 44, you know, not counting, like, seconds and all that stuff, but... Like, I want to know how much people paid to go to the theater to watch this, if anything, but, yeah, I think the writing in the show is just not there. Like, I don't think it's that good. I don't think it's horrible. Like, it's way better than Kenobi, way better than Mando Season 3, but, I mean, it ain't hard to be better than that stuff. And Andor, because Andor, like, I didn't think the writing was bad. I just didn't find anything interesting. Like, you're telling me I'm supposed to watch hours upon hours until it finally gets good? No, I'll do something better with my time. I'll move on to something else way more enjoyable. So, and then with Rebels, you know, I started watching, that's what I did. I started watching other stuff. I mean, I just kind of put it on because I was bored. I wanted some more Star Wars in my life at the time, and that's all we really had while I was waiting for the other stuff to come out. And then I just kind of said, you know what, I'm going to watch something else because I'm in the mood for something better. But then we go back to, that's another thing I left out. So we get Anakin's kind of fighting with Ahsoka at first. In the first, when they're in the, whatever the hell that place is called, I forget. But then it cuts back to Hera and her son, Jason, and I'm sorry, but I am so fed up with, first off, we don't get any good choreography with lightsaber fights, and then also, they cut in the middle of a fight. It's like, dude, show the whole fight play out. I want to see that camera shift to a different scene when either someone's been defeated, someone's been killed, or there's a stalemate. Like, this shit where they just swing and hit each other, like hit the lightsabers against each other a couple times, and then it cuts. It's like, oh my god. But, which I think is also a justifiable complaint. It's like, dude, give us a whole fight scene out here. Yeah, they give us a couple different fight scenes in the same episode, but, like, show us one full fight. You know, supposedly there was a whole, like, episode 3 fight that they cut out. I don't know. That's just kind of weird that they'd even film it, but even, you know, and then cut it, and I don't know, but, like, that whole fight, and I know there's some cuts here and there in episode 3, but that whole fight is so good, and we just haven't had stuff that good lately. But, yeah, so I'm a bit disappointed with this episode a little bit, because I thought for sure this episode was going to blow me away. I thought it was finally going to hook me, because, you know, you get word of an episode going to a theater, it's like, okay, this is going to be good. First off, the runtime's going to be good, which, it's not horrible, but 44 minutes, it's like, dude, make that shit, boost some numbers. I don't know. The writing is just not, like, out of this world. It's just, like, super basic stuff, super mediocre stuff. It's also my fault for just not being a fan of the whole time, like, the era. Like, I don't care about the Galactus Civil War that much. I mean, I can stand it, but, like, when we get towards the New Republic era, I am all clocked out. The New Republic blows. They are horrible. I am rooting for the Empire 100% because we got to get these guys just... These guys are so stupid. Like, I mean, everybody knows this. I mean, Disney's got to be like, we got to make sure the New Republic gets they get beat because they're stupid, but they're just so stupid. It's ridiculous. Like, we gotta get these guys killed already. Like, I want them dead. Like, these guys will bring up more problems against each other than, like, the actual problems that exist. Like, if some motherfucker came up to me and said, hey, I believe there's Empire remnants, I believe there's still people out there, I would say, go find me proof you're verified for this mission. They're like, nope, you don't got no proof, you can't go do it, and it's just like, dude, kill yourself. So, yeah, I absolutely cannot stand and hate the New Republic. I don't hate, like, the heroes associated with them, like, you know, Ahsoka and Hera and the Rebels cast. But, like, the New Republic, fuck, they're boring as hell. They suck. I hate them. But, yeah, it's going to do it for this episode, basically. There's some, like, problems I had, just, like, actual, like, realistic stuff. Like, you know, all of a sudden, Ahsoka... Oh, wait, I forgot to mention the costumes. I mean, I kind of did, but... So, Ahsoka, they take off her headpiece, and... Yeah, I mean, as somebody that didn't really care too much, you know, the whole problem, people were saying how, obviously, you know, you can see the wrinkles with the molding with her headpiece, whatever those tentacle things are actually called, you know, people are like, well, obviously you can tell it's a costume, you know, it doesn't look real. I didn't have a problem with that. I was like, yeah, whatever, it's live action. But, oh my God, when they took off her headpiece and then you can see, like, how it connects to her, Rosario Dawson's head, I was just like, oh my God, that looks bad, dude. From a distance, it looks decent enough. But up close, it's like, oh my God, dude, put that shit back on. Because that's all I was looking at the whole time. I was just like, oh my God. But I'm sure I'm missing a few things. I tried to cut the time down, but it didn't go down that much. But still, you know, I don't think this series is that good. I don't think it's horrible. Is it worth watching? I wouldn't say so. Unless you, I mean, even if you love the character like I do. Because I'm not having that good of a time, you know. Just because... They gave me Anakin a few times. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh my God. You know, my head's not blown away. Like, there's some really cool stuff they do where Anakin, you know, first time he fights Ahsoka, blue lightsaber. Second time, red lightsaber. Third time, you know, you can hear Darth Vader breathing. And I'm so happy they didn't actually have him, like, I think, and I'm going to get flack for this, understandably, but Darth Vader is just so overused, in my opinion, you know, much like the Joker from DC. It's like, enough is enough. He's in everything. We've seen him so many times, all right? It's time to get over it. But, you know, like, you can hear his breathing, and, you know, there's a couple flash scenes where, like, Anakin's walking towards her, and, like, for a second, it's Darth Vader, for a second, it's Anakin, so on and so forth. That was really cool, really well done, really cool edit. Props to them. And I'm so glad they didn't just make him turn into Darth Vader fighting her, because, I mean... That big black suit, to me, in my opinion, nowadays, it doesn't look as good as it did back then. And then that on top of the bad choreography of the lightsaber fighting, it's just like, dude, it would look so goofy. So I'm so glad they didn't do that. But that's seriously it for this time. We are officially getting closer to the end of the series. And, oh boy, I'd probably rate this episode like a 7.5 out of 10. Because, you know, anything with the New Republic, I do not care about. Hera, nothing against the actress, I forgot her name. Nothing against these people, you know, I just don't care that much. I like the Rebels cast for what they are. You know, people hate Sabine, I don't mind her, but I'm so uninterested in, you know, rest in peace Ray Stevenson, because his character... had some couple good scenes here and there. He's mainly just stood around for the whole series, and, you know, we're not going to get to see him at all next season because the actor's dead. So, that being said, I kind of hope they just kill him off somehow. I hope there's a really good fight, and I hope he dies because, obviously, you know, it's like, well, then I'd hate for him just to disappear somehow, and we don't get to see him ever again. So hopefully they find a way to kill off the character in a really good way. So, that being said... I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever that will be.